What does it take to build a successful media career doing what you love? My guest today is Dani Perro. She started in radio at 18 years old. With a background in opera singing and musical theater, she turned her passion for performance into a thriving career as a radio host, interviewer, and entrepreneur. In this episode, Dani shares what she's learned in more than 11 years in broadcasting, including how to conduct great interviews, handle live on-air challenges, build a personal brand, and staying committed to her vision. We also discuss entrepreneurship, working with family, and why she never thought about giving up. I'm Christina Flach. This is I'm Too Busy. Let's get to it. Please like, subscribe, share, and comment. Enjoy the interview. You started your radio career at 18. What gave you the confidence to begin so young?
Just getting the idea of being in radio since my father started when I was little. It was more of just growing up with it in our household. So he was showing me how to do slight engineering on the side, talking to people, becoming more understanding when we had somebody would call in, understanding how to talk to them and just get more of a feel of how radio industry was. Obviously, this was back then. So this was kind of more of different than where we are now.
Right.
But it was definitely challenging when I was younger because I seem like I'm so intelligent and a big bubble of sunshine as I am, but I was shy. I was shy in the beginning. It was definitely something that my father and Doc G, my father, and then Ruben Rodriguez, who's also my co-partner for Hamilton Radio, they pushed me into being the radio personality that I am today. So they showed me the ropes of everything, whether it was engineering, to taking my first phone call, to understanding how to have topics on a show, to being scripted, to then not trying to be scripted and do it more just personality-wise. So it was definitely different.
When did you realize this wasn't just a hobby, but something you wanted to pursue long-term?
I absolutely love talking to people more than anything, even with my job working where I work right now, when I get the opportunity to talk to people on break, whether it's my coworkers and keeping them distracted from work, of course.
Right.
It's definitely one of my hobbies. And I want to say even in school, Christina, I don't know if you could say lunch was my favorite subject because I love to talk more than anything. And of course, I definitely got in trouble for talking. So I think it was definitely something that I became much more comfortable with. And I was like, wait, this is a career where you can sit behind a screen, whether it's a podcast or audio, and just talk to somebody all day long, get to know them, and then maybe actually also feel like they're your friend because you're just vibing personality-wise and positive vibes. And that's the way that I love to go.
Did people ever doubt you because of your age, and how did you handle that?
So the only way that I'd ever feel like I was doubted was when I was trying to get some different celebrities maybe in the beginning on my show. And since I didn't have great intake, whether it was views or different types of, because we were radio, internet radio versus regular radio. So a lot of people doubted me because I wasn't on the radio itself. And since it was internet, nobody really believed in that back then. So it was more of like, oh, so you do radio, but how do I listen to you? And I'm like, on a Hamilton Radio app, on Alexa, on Google. And they're like, oh, so if I go in my car and I push a dial, you don't come up. And I was like, yeah, I do not. We're going to do our best to get onto radio, but internet was the cheapest way. Unfortunately, radio is super expensive. So being doubted was more of them not seeing my views growing as a person. And since I wasn't on real radio, I overcame it by saying, okay, I don't need to be on your platform. I'll make my own. And that's where I am today.
Looking back, what advice would you give your 18-year-old self?
Girl, you did it. I don't know how you had the strength to believe in yourself, but look at where you are now and look who you've interviewed and what is to come. You're being interviewed by the most wonderful Christina Flach. And I'm so grateful for this opportunity. Seriously, I love talking to you. So I appreciate it.
We always have such a good time on our interviews.
Yeah.
How did your background in musical theater shape your interviewing style?
I definitely feel like it was understanding breathing for when you're in musical theater and understanding, obviously, looking at the person. When you're interviewing somebody, you want to make sure your eye contact is perfect. You want to make sure you're there you're understanding what the person's talking about. So listening is a huge part of it. And
Huge.
understanding from that standpoint of musical theater was also like, yes, I performed, so I know how to kind of like move my hands while I'm talking versus just looking like a robot and sitting there. So you just have to have it feel like it makes it more fun for yourself. And I feel like doing that with musical theater, whether or not singing or behind the scenes dancing, you're sitting there. So you get a chance to just enjoy the experience.
Do you think performance skills gave you an advantage as a host?
Maybe. I mean, it probably it changed the way that I would interview, because if I had an actor or an actress, I could put myself in their shoes and understand what they had to do in order to get the role, or how many auditions that they had to go through. So definitely in the persona of understanding, putting myself in their shoes, yes, it would have.
How important is storytelling when you're interviewing someone?
Well, is it my storytelling or is it them storytelling me?
You answer how you feel.
So I absolutely love getting to have somebody tell me a story about their career or something different, or a strength or an accomplishment that maybe they didn't even know that they could accomplish. Or maybe it was something that they were negative about, and then all of a sudden something amazing happened, and it was more of them understanding, wow, I could actually do this myself. Like, I believe in myself, as opposed to not. So storytelling is so much fun because you kind of feel like you want to put yourself in their shoes, right? You feel like you want to go through that journey with them.
Right.
And the fun part about that, Christina, is you never know what anyone's story is going to be. So it could be tragedy, but became beautiful. It could be something that was silly, and it's something that just sticks with them. So storytelling is huge for whoever you're getting to meet or talk to, especially in the industry, because it could even be secrets that technically aren't supposed to be spoken, but they're allowed to.
Right. I also feel like, everyone has a story, and they don't have to be famous. I mean, sometimes some of the stories that I've heard from people that aren't famous are much more dramatic and wild than someone who's actually
amazing.
famous.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You said it's critical to keep guests engaged. How do you actually do that in real time?
In order to do that, you just want to make sure you understand what type of interview you want to put out there. So if it's a person that I had on my show, and sometimes you get these types of people, I'm sure you do too, they'll give you one-line answers. How do you keep the interview engaged? How do you go within a full hour, right, of them giving you one-line answers? Well, the best part of that, and when you're in the industry, you understand and learn, it is when you're getting to know the person themselves, when you're putting yourself so if they're talking about, when I was younger, this was something that I experienced, well, you can go deeper into their questions of what they're asking. You can pull out more of what they wanted to explain, but maybe they were scared to, maybe something else you can broaden on a different topic. It's more of the fact that you want to always make sure they feel comfortable. You're not pushing them, but you're also making sure it's open for them to continue talking. You want to make sure they feel comfortable with the conversation. Sometimes you'll get somebody that's shy, and like I said, you'll get 1-second answers. And as an interviewer, as a podcast host, that's really hard to come up with, even if you have a script or whatever you need to deal with. It's more of you like, okay, you know what? Versus what I'm supposed to say, let me go a little bit deeper about this in your childhood. How do you feel like that impacts you? And you just understand that with the engagement. And then eventually, maybe you'll get a story out of it, and it becomes much longer than you expected. I also find it funny because you're talking to a person that would ramble with them. And I try to stay on point too at the same situation. But if it's something that you feel like that, like about your makeup company, Pretty Girl Makeup, if it's something about that, then of course we're going to go off topic and talk about all of your colors and stuff. Like you can't always pull it back immediately to the subject line of what you want. But if you can get them back on the pace, then you're doing amazing as a radio show host,
Because you also want people to stay engaged, the listener. And so if they feel like the person is just not saying anything more. They're just kind of repeating. That's what's hard to keep them. That's kind of more what I meant.
So then if it's something where it feels like it's a little complicated to keep it up, try to change the wording of your next question or keep it in line of what you were asking, and just
you
make
can get
it,
them to finish their question, though, their answer.
that would be, if you can get them to try to finish the question, that is
Yes.
definitely a task. That it
Yes.
depends on who you interview, but that's like the hardest thing as a radio show host.
Oh,
It
totally.
never ever will become what it's supposed to be. You can
No,
tell.
definitely. That's true. What separates a good interviewer from a great one?
A good interviewer is going to be somebody that's excited for their guest, but they don't do the research as opposed to maybe months of research before the interview, and maybe not even type part. They might sound more as they're putting it together and not scripted. So I would say a great interviewer is somebody that is very excited, enthusiastic about the interview, excited for their guest promotion, and they do their research on the guest. They stump their guest, like my show. And you definitely want to make sure, even if you're trying to sound, you want to make sure you're not sounding scripted. You want to make sure you're so organic with it. So you want to verify that you're comfortable with your interview. So it's definitely something where you want to do research for whoever your guest is. You need to show them that you absolutely care about them.
I totally agree, because I do tons of interviews, and I just find it, to me, you're so generous to be on my show and it's your time. To me, I think it is so disrespectful. If I've gone on shows, they don't know my name, they don't know what I do. They want me to talk and I just find it so disrespectful. Like,
absolutely,
don't waste my time, because I really spend a lot of time, like you do, preparing for this, because and here's another thing. I only interview people that I want to get to know better. Like, I'm not going to just.
Oh, I'm blessed. Oh my gosh.
Stop. Oh my God. Stop.
No, that's very sweet and beautiful how you mentioned that. I think it definitely is unfair that they reach out to you. And okay, it could be because you are a celebrity makeup artist and maybe they know everybody that you work with, or you have a lot of big names under your belt. But that
they had no idea what I was, what I did, they knew nothing about
that. Is so rude.
It's so rude. And it's like, look, we've sent you a press kit. You could Google, know something. I mean, like otherwise.
Some effort, please.
Well, you know why? This is what I've told. A couple of times I've kind of gotten a little nicely irritated with someone, because I'm like, look, if you don't, like, why do you have a show? Because you and I are incredibly curious people. Like, that's just who we are. We love to talk to people. We love to find out about them. Part of the fun of doing, like, why have a show if you're not going to prepare for it? Like,
oh, absolutely. Oh my gosh.
What are you doing? Like, there's no point to having a show. Do you think listening is more important than asking the right questions?
Absolutely, because you want to make sure, depending on what question that the person is asking, listening is definitely more elaborate to yourself. So if you're not listening to somebody when they're responding to your question and you look like you don't understand what they said, that looks so terrible as a radio show host and podcast. I think it's more of like, it's the professional that we're in, right? It's our profession. So we want to make sure we understand what we're saying, what they're saying. And the listening part between both of us is like the most, like the 100% of the interview. You only have the talking and the listening. If you're not listening and you're only doing 50% of the talking, then what's the interview?
I agree. How do you get guests to open up and be real and not just surface level?
I think it's part of the research that you do with the guests. So if you have a certain entrepreneur or an author, you have to understand that the research you're going to do is obviously read their biography. But if it's a book, read the book. Read about what the book means to them, why they wrote the book. Maybe it's about their dog or a loved one. So you politely bring that up in the interview and you break ice so quickly. It's actually mind-blowing how that can happen. It's more the fact that, like, you're just having a great interview, talking to the person, enjoying the chemistry between both of you, and all of a sudden you mention their dog, you say, I'm sorry for your loss. Well, then they'll be like, oh, well, there's a story about this that came from the book. And that's how you get them too. So you always want to make sure, obviously you do your research and you know that, and everyone on your side does as well. It's part of that. After, you want to also find something that you feel like you relate with the person And I think obviously how bubbly and intelligent you are, it's more of I relate to you with makeup because that's your line. And I love
Right.
makeup and modeling. And I think it's also just the type of energy we both have. Like, Christina, we flow so crazy. Like, if you were here in New Jersey right now, it would have been amazing to finally meet you.
One day.
We'll figure it out.
What's the most awkward or unexpected moment you've ever had during an interview?
So during an interview, okay, so there's two I'm actually going to give you. I'm going to give you one before an interview because I've had cancellations that where I was so excited to have, and then all of a sudden, 5 minutes later, when they're supposed to be on Zoom, a manager texts or calls me, or Christopher, and they'll be like, "I'm sorry, this person cannot do the show right now," and that is so unprofessional on my end because
Totally.
I try to give the benefit of the doubt for the situation. Okay, maybe you're gonna undergo like surgery or something like that. Like, I totally understand. No problem
Someone
at all.
died in front
Yes.
of you. Something.
But it's like exactly. But it's like I'm a human being too. Like, I'm not a robot. I can't read your
well,
mind.
no one's time is more important than anyone else's. Okay. So
Very true.
I don't care who you are. It's just, that's so rude. No, you're
And
right.
because of that, unfortunately, and I'm sure yourself, this would come a time too, you have to eventually charge for your time. You can't do everything for free anymore. It's really sad to say that in this world of 2026. But if somebody wants to do an interview with you and they actually think that you're worth it more than amazing, and they're taking the opportunity out of their busy schedule to do it with you, then that's not totally unfair to completely just cancel on them. And then you feel like, okay, you canceled, but because you canceled and that was so unprofessional, I'm not rescheduling you. I'm not rescheduling. We're not going to reach out. You could reach out to me, but the email got lost. So that's one. And then the
Okay.
other thing would be the awkward thing that happens is a coughing attack when you're talking to somebody. I had that on one of my Christmas parties, I believe, and almost 20 minutes besides Doc G and Christopher giving me water, I couldn't talk. I had to have them take over and I had to run out of the room because it was like
Yeah.
a tickle that wouldn't disappear.
I
And that
know.
might have been the only awkward thing because my guest is talking and then you just hear me like cackling in the
Oh
background
my
trying to
God, it's
clear
the
my throat.
worst. And you're trying so hard to not, and it
Or
just
swallow. And you're still
the whole thing.
Yep.
You can't
So-
hide it.
Mhm.
And it's worse because your show's live. I can have Maya edit all this stuff out. If I start having
oh,
a
yeah.
coughing fit,
No,
Maya,
you would
I'm
still see
sorry.
it. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. You won't even know.
Absolutely.
Have you ever had an interview where you thought this is not going well, and what did you do?
Yeah. Couple things. I think when you have an interview, if it doesn't feel like it's going on the same path, it could be they're not understanding your question. It could be this person doesn't seem like they want to be on my show. I mean, in the beginning, when I had my show, I had kids. Now, talking about kids 9, 10, I think even 11, obviously, they're little kids. You can't have a big conversation with them because they either don't understand what you're saying or the parent doesn't pick up exactly what you're saying. So prior to that, and you're interviewing like little kids and stuff, you have to understand, you have to change your words, right? You have to make them smaller. And you have to be like, what's your favorite color? Like, type of like easy, super strategic ones that they'll understand and it's not complicated. So you have that type of interviews. And then some of them you'll have where it doesn't seem like it's going well because they're not on the same page with you, or they want the interview to end after you're still going. And they'll be like, I'm sorry, what time is it? Like, they're acting annoyed during the interview. And I've had that. And again, that's so disrespectful because I'm giving them my time. Whether or not I'm big, they're big, we're all human. We all have certain time that we mentioned before. And I think it just depends on how you feel the interview went. If you feel like it's toxic, it didn't feel good, it's sad it's posted, but you don't have a relationship with that person afterwards.
Well, what I'm asking you is, have you had this happen, and what happened?
Yes. So I've had it happen with a person, and it was a situation where they didn't understand what I was saying, but they sounded very annoyed and like high listed, like snotty type of thing. And they're like, I'm sorry, I don't understand what your question is right now. It's 6:30. How long is this interview going to go? And it's just disrespectful and
my
snotty
God,
and rude.
that's
So
so
because
rude.
of that, I'm like, I'm sorry, I don't mean to take up your time. Normally my show is an hour. If you need to do less than an hour, let me know for next time or before the show starts. Yeah, we'll do a couple more questions and we can answer questions from the audience or live view. Like, just quickly pick it up, the attitude, and change it, make it positive. Or
Right,
say, hey, is there
totally.
any callers? We'll take a caller right now. And then we had commercial breaks we used to do back then for like some sponsorships. So I'll be like, we're going to take a commercial break right now on the Dani Perro show. We'll be right back. And I just clear it and then hang up. And
Oh my God.
then do something else.
What's something about the entertainment industry that people don't see but should know?
Something about the entertainment industry. I want to say it is actually all becoming more. Well, it's not all becoming more virtual. It's more of like everything is red carpets now. And I feel like that's also because they're trying to put a lot of people in the system. So there's a lot of podcasts that are coming out. There's a lot of radio show hosts that are becoming really big. So I feel like the biggest thing in the entertainment industry, I'm going to say radio. It's becoming huge and it never was. Back then, nobody knew about it at all. Everybody wants a profession in it. Everybody wants to learn how to engineer. You know that when you do radio, you can also be a singer, so you can sing while you're on the radio and people will understand and get to know you for that. So radio is huge in the entertainment industry because there's also a lot of awards and nominations that are given out for it. And I think it's huge and very broad and all over the world.
You mentioned never relying fully on technology. What's something that's gone wrong live and how did you handle that?
Oh boy. So engineering is fun when it's behind the scenes, and when you're live, you deal with a lot of stuff. So there could be a microphone or an amp on randomly, and you're interviewing, you're talking to somebody, you're calm, confident, it's going great. All of a sudden, maybe back there they pushed a button and you hear "ee" all over the mic, or it's just another echo of the mic. Prior to that, what you have to do is, again, we used to take commercial breaks. So commercial breaks would help in that situation. If we can't, and it was live, like on YouTube or Facebook, I would say, I'm so sorry, we're having technical difficulties right now. Give us a second. Let's see what's going on. And then I would ask Doc G and be like, what's going on? Is everything okay? Oh, yeah, mic just blew, or they have to plug this in. They just have to turn this off and turn it back on. So the reason why you can't rely on technology is when you're also doing an interview and you're using a computer, as we're on Zoom. What if the computer shuts down during the interview? Where's the interview? It's not recorded. It's gone. It's completely gone. So you always want to make sure you have backup for something.
I've had it happen twice where Zoom didn't recorded the words, but not the video.
Oh.
And this just happened to someone. This happened to me recently with a woman that I'm obsessed with on Instagram. She's a wellness expert. And it was like, I was so excited to interview her. I'm like, you're my Instagram crush. I love everything you do. And it didn't record and I have to redo it now. But she's super cool and we're going to do it over. And I go, I don't know what happened on Zoom. They must have changed the settings because it sent all the words, but no video.
That's crazy.
So
but awful. You know what? This is supposed to be a better interview. That's the reason what happened.
Exactly.
That's what you need to think of, the positive of why it didn't record.
I know, but it's so embarrassing because again, it's someone's time. They're giving you now 2
But she wants to talk to you again, so it's a bonus.
Oh, thank God. How important is improvisation in radio and live interviewing?
Improvisation is very important because if you're in the beginning, if you're scripted and you feel like that's the easy way to go and more organic for you, then eventually you can, pull out of it and understand how you want your show to go and, how it flows. Prior to that, you want to always make sure as we mentioned a little bit before, you want to keep your audience engaged, viewers as well. So improvisation is definitely huge because you want to make sure that you have it on the fly, something different, something more unique, something as opposed to, if somebody's tuning into the show and you have a random caller, it could be like a celebrity that called in prior to that and you have a cook on the show. The cook knows the celebrity's calling in for the cook. It's that type of thing where you want to have it kind of like, oh, wow. I've never seen a show that does this before. It makes you unique. It shows yourself the way that you want to grow in what profession that is. So I think it's really big because it's fun. If you know acting, improv is so much fun. And it's kind of nice because if you're, not sure what to do and there is a technical difficulty or a glitch or something, it's something that you can improv or change the subject and do something else. So you always want to have that in your pocket as well as a radio show host.
What do you do when a guest cancels the last second, like we talked about,
Oh boy.
or doesn't show or shows up late? Like, what do you do because your show's live?
Wow. So I've had the guest show up late and I feel really bad because since it is live in the studio and say the guest was supposed to come and sing, say they got the wrong time. This happened to us a few years ago. And so obviously we're in a studio. We turn on everything. We turn off everything. So if we wait, show starts at 6:30, the person's not there. They show up at 7:00. Well, we are probably almost gone. Like we're finishing up everything here. If there's no show, turn off everything and we're going to get ready to leave. Well, as we're walking out, the guest walks upstairs. So I quickly, let them know that the time. Yeah, exactly. Try to say, hey, that you're late. So I have to make a post and then I'll say, hey, we're starting in 15 minutes, at least to give myself to run upstairs, brush my hair and sit down and get the person on the mic. And we'll do something like that. But if you deal with a cancellation last minute, sometimes it depends on the cancellation, like we were mentioning before, but I love my show. I'll never say I don't like my show. I love doing my show. I love talking to people, but sometimes it's nice to have a little tiny break. And I feel like that is needed. So if that is the situation and I have dinner plans after or going to Chick-fil-A or Longhorn or something with Chris and my family, I just said, okay, I guess it's meant to be. They are on the wrong time zone. They didn't know what time to show up. I get to go have dinner and I'll prepare for my next show.
Your show features everyone from major celebrities to local entrepreneurs. Why was that important to you?
I think it's fair to give everybody a chance in the spotlight. I think it's unfair in the situation of anyone that does have a dream or a passion that they don't get a chance to share it with the world somewhere, somehow. So I think it's definitely just understanding that everybody has a dream, everybody has a passion. I think it means more the world that there's somebody out there that wants to listen. There's somebody out there that wants to give them that chance, that spotlight. And I feel like with my show, prior to the making and the building of it in the beginning, I definitely showed and explained that I wanted to make it broader to different horizons and different topics. Because I think in the beginning, I was only comfortable with maybe, obviously, actors, musicians, independent artists. Then entrepreneurs came in, I think models, authors. So I wanted to make sure everybody got a chance. I think it was only fair. And everybody has a story to tell.
That's true. Is there an interview that really stands out as a turning point in your career?
Turning point how exactly?
Well, like you thought, I've really made it, or wow, this really made it. Like for me, for an example, I interviewed this guy that I did it as a favor to my business partner.
Mm-hmm.
It was this Jewish guy that got involved with these neo-Nazis as a kid, and then they tried to kill him, and then he moved to Israel because there was a bounty on his head. And
yes, you told me about this. Yes, oh my gosh, yeah.
That interview got 157,000 views on YouTube. And that really turned, I just started getting, now I've got almost 65,000 subscribers. That one interview, which I thought was not that, I thought it was good, but I didn't think it was that good.
Of course.
Because I've had celebrities on. And I think that one really was my turning point. So did you have a show that you were like, okay, this is changing my career?
Yes. I had Brian Todd, who's an amazing musician and music producer in the industry. He worked with Ashley Tisdale, Miley Cyrus, Big Time Rush. I'm trying to think of all the names as best as I can. And when I had the opportunity to talk to him, he definitely changed the industry for me. I felt like, wow, you're big. Thank you so much for your opportunity, for me interviewing you and the time that you have. You are such a wonderful person, especially, and I'm very excited to talk to you. It was more the fact that he was explaining how the industry was back then, to where it is now in the music producer company. He was the sweetest person, and I felt like I made it because of all the big names he produced singles for and labeled.
Right.
Because we love Big Time Rush. Chris and I are huge Big Time Rush fans, so he is such an amazing person, and he has the connections for that. So I was just like blown away because of that, and he still works with them to this day with new music coming out and everything. He's such an amazing person. Maybe you should get him on your show.
Maybe. What's one mistake you made early on that actually made you better?
I'm going to say it might be replying too soon, so in the beginning, my show used to be 2 hours. This was when I was DJ Dani, which I tried to explain a little bit to you earlier through text. Mm-hmm. We changed it to the Dani Perro show. DJ Dani was prior. My show was 2 hours. I didn't think I had the much intel to fill the 2-hour show, and I think it was easier and more comfortable to me making it an hour. I wanted to kind of understand what I wanted my show to be, and I feel like within that 2 hours was too long, and even though I could talk forever, I didn't feel like I had a lot of clarity in that situation.
What are you doing differently now that's helping you grow your platform?
Well, we're trying to boost and do more engagement on our social media because that's very big in the industry, and we're doing our best to get there as well. We are also trying to reach out to bigger and just actors, artists online as well. TikTok is definitely one of the big platforms. We're always scouting for some musicians on there. And we're definitely, sometimes you watch a movie or you watch a TV show, IMDb the person, and you can get their information if you're interested in getting them on the show. So I'm always scouting no matter what. Even if I'm on vacation with my sister, I have my Dani Perro show card. And I'll be like, hey, I have a radio show. If you're looking to be on it, you can contact us for Christopher to contact you. So scouting is definitely the biggest thing to do with networking, and definitely going to a lot of events.
Was there ever a moment you wanted to quit, and what kept you going?
No, actually, there was never a moment I wanted to quit, but what always keeps me going is how much happiness I have in doing this. The love from Christopher, my family behind me, all supporting me and scheduling my shows all behind the scenes, where there's a lot of rough spots, but we all overcome it and we deal with what we need to. I think it's just me getting the opportunity after a long, busy day at work, my full-time job. I get to come home and talk to somebody. That's the most fun thing as it is. Just interview and talk to somebody.
What are you most proud of that people don't see?
The thing that I'm most proud of that people do not see is how much I've actually put into this, how many years. I'm 29 years old. I started this when I was 18. Prior to that, I had a show when I was 11, I think my father had said, and I was just learning how to talk on a microphone at that time. So I put a lot of heart and soul in this. This is definitely something where, I'd love to show my kids one day how to, do radio or engineering on the side. It's an amazing skill to have. And if you could learn to do editing, you also have like a bonus with like all three combined. But it definitely means the world to me. And I think it's definitely the time and the love I have in this to share with the world.
What does success look like to you now versus when you first started?
Success means that I get a chance to talk to Christina Flach on my show again in 2026. Success means that we can all have hard days, but I still have my show to come home to. Right. I still have my guests that care about me and reach out to me and be like, hi, Dani, how are you doing? I was on your show in 2019. Can I be on your show again? Like, I want to reach out to you. We like to have a lot of duplicate on my show because whether or not we give everybody the opportunity once or whenever they want to and they have something to share, I get to bond with that person. So if I bond with a musician that's been on my show multiple times, like Ashley Wineland, an amazing country artist, she's been on my show 4 times, I believe. It's just the manager reaches out and they're like, okay, Dani, they want to be on your show again. Or Darcy Donovan, who's another actor that we had. She was on my show twice. I just think it's just the chemistry and the bond you have with the person. So the success is just, understanding where you are now to what you started with. And it was really hard, like trials and tribulations back then.
Truly. You've mentioned your manager, Christopher, and he plays such an important role. How has that support shaped your journey?
We have fights, but all people in the industry do. And I think that shapes me the most because I have to understand it from his standpoint that he's seeing the maturity in myself as a radio show host. So it's not just us growing and trying to bond and boost our show. It's our chemistry, it's our relationship together. It has to be extreme, it has to be to a T. And I think the biggest thing is him not ever giving up on me and believing in me and understanding, yes, we have rough paths before the show starts, or a guest won't communicate and we can't get them on the show and they said they were going to be on the show and they're late. There's a lot of stress involved, but my head is always going to stay up as long as he believes in me. And I think him behind my side and booking and all the hard work that he does, he gets credit too.
Do you ever think of doing a show that's not live?
Oh, but I love seeing myself. No, I'm just kidding. Actually, I don't mind doing radio if it's just audio. I'm told by some people my voice can be relaxing. I'll probably put people to sleep. But I feel like live is the persona because you're trying to show yourself and other people out there that you don't have to be shy to do this. You can be whatever you want to be when you're on video.
How do you balance working together professionally while maintaining a strong personal relationship?
Strong professional relationship is hard because you know that you need to have structure in your relationship and you want to make sure that it's strict and you're understanding what it's supposed to be. But a regular relationship is upon just trying to be yourself and sometimes say, okay, we're not doing radio talk right now. We're just going to relax and eat dinner. We'll do radio talk in like 2 days or make a meeting or something for it. I think it just depends on how much you feel like radio can kind of take over your life and your profession. You need to have time for yourself and time for your radio. If you put it all in one, then you are going to tire yourself out and you might not have time, just to relax and just take it slow.
Right. If someone's watching right now and they have a passion, but they're afraid to start, what would you say to them?
What's your passion? How can I help you? Come contact me on the Dani Perro show. I'd love to have you on the show. If you need to talk it out, if you need to understand what you feel like your worth is, how do you think you could make a change in the world? What do you feel like would relate to you?
Your dream guest is who?
Kane Brown, more than anything in the United States.
I love him. Okay, you know that song?
Thank God.
Best song ever. Best song
ever. It means the world to me, to Chris and myself, but oh my God, I love them so much. That is the one.
Him and his wife singing. I got goosebumps. I've listened to that song on repeat like 150,000 times.
Well, I'm going to tell you one thing. I don't know if you know this about their career, but they are, I think it's coming up soon on TV or on streaming. They are going to be both singing the Beauty and the Beast theme song together.
I can't.
And that just gives me chills because I'm like, okay,
you have to text me if you want to hear about this. If I don't hear this,
I will. Okay, I got you.
What do you do, Dani, when your day isn't flowing?
If my day isn't flowing, say like I get bored, because I do get bored easily, and that's really hard to maintain. I try to keep myself busy. So if my day is not flowing, maybe I'm supposed to just take a relaxed day. Maybe I'll watch something with my sister on TV. Maybe I'll do a little bit of research on somebody that we're looking to get on my show. Definitely home, relaxing, with my family and my cat Pepper, the love of my life. And just getting the opportunity to, just kind of like say, okay, this is a calm day. Tomorrow might be a little bit hectic. So I'm just going to take this time for myself because there's times when you forget that you need time for yourself, or I'll take a spa day with my best friend Shannon. Most of the time we do that during work hours because just get away and it's just the most relaxing thing. So my day's not flowing. I try to keep myself either busy or relax. Because
where's your happy place?
My happy place. Wow, that's a beautiful question. I mean, obviously it's always here at Hamilton Radio at the studio, but I think the second place of my happy place would be my Christopher, my boyfriend's house, with his family. Obviously, they're going to be second parts to me in my life, and I feel like they're second place to home versus my home myself.
What would people be surprised to know about you?
I'm an opera singer. I trained when I was 12.
I did not know that about you.
Surprise!
Wow, that's a good one. That shocks me.
She's like, wait, Dani, what else can you do?
Wait, what?
I'm not going to blow your ears right now because I did not practice. But yes, if you need an audio clip one day, just tell Chris and I'll have him record one for you.
Oh my God, I love that.
Okay.
How important is self-care to you? And give me do you have any exercise or diet tips that you're loving right now?
So self-care is definitely important. I'm obsessed with Mario Badescu Cucumber Aloe Spray. I think I've been using it for 7 or 8 years plus. I use it every morning. I spray my face in the morning and I spray my face at night. Definitely you want to wash your face if you have makeup on. That's the biggest key, especially because I have a makeup artist on the show. So I have to be careful with what I'm saying. Because if I said go to sleep in makeup, she'd be like, no, Dani, that's not correct.
Oh, hell no. We're going to have a conversation off the air.
Okay. No, so yeah, you definitely want to take your makeup off. I think a lot of self-care to yourself is just giving your time to relax. Whether you are in bed, maybe you washed your hair's up in a towel or a turbo wrap thingy, towel thing, and you're reading a book, you're relaxing. Maybe you have a Himalaya salt lamp and that's relaxing you because that helps de-stress you. Maybe you have light, small little lights like a nightlight. I don't like the dark, so I'm scared of the dark. So little nightlight, and and a cat by you or a dog by you, or just different types of sounds. I sleep with ocean sounds. It relaxes me more than anything. I think it just helps calm your brain. So self-care would be if you want to listen to white noise. White noise is beautiful, very relaxing and de-stressful. Diet tips would be, I was just told by my allergist I have to redo everything for my body. I guess I'm going to say do more ginger. Ginger is amazing for your body. You don't understand the benefits of it until you do the research.
That's true. Anti-inflammatory. It's really good.
And I love ginger chews for when you get motion sickness, or if you're driving, you get sick. So it helps.
What is one interview you'll never forget?
One interview that I'll never forget. Well, my sister, Mary Rose, used to be on the show with me years ago. She would do only some shows when it was celebrities or actors, musicians that she would know. And I'm going to say the biggest interview and the most funniest, amazing interview of my life was Justin Guarini from American Idol. Now, you said earlier technical difficulties. If you watch this show on YouTube, Christina, there were so many technical difficulties.
Oh my gosh.
We lost access to the connection. I think it was to Zoom or StreamYard by accident. One of the engineers, Ruben or Doc G, I think exited out of it. So we were still on camera, but Justin took over my show until I came back on the show.
Ugh.
He was just so sweet, amazing. He was the American Idol winner of season 1. Runner-up of season 1. Honestly, he was amazing because I love his music. You also know him as the Diet Dr. Pepper guy, and all the Diet Dr. Pepper commercials. Justin is such a sweetheart. He's a father. I felt like it just meant so much for the interview, how big it was, because I was obsessed with Justin and Kelly growing up, like Kelly Clarkson and Justin Guarini, and they were so cute together. So I was very thankful for that chance. And when I got to talk to him and he mentioned a lot of the Broadway shows, this was prior COVID times when I had him on my show. So he told me what was coming up before Broadway shut down. It was kind of sad because I was like, I can't go see these shows, but it was just an amazing opportunity to have him.
What's the biggest lesson do you think you've learned from radio?
You can never be too prepared for what happens. Like today, even if we come super early to get ready for this wonderful video interview with you, we weren't prepared for, if somebody does remodeling of the studio and maybe you haven't been here for a while, so you can't find the remote, you can't turn the TV on, you can't access the internet, Wi-Fi changed. So there's always something that you think you're ready for, but it's always something else. So you can never be too prepared for the situation. You just have to understand how it's supposed to flow in the rest of your day. And that's how it goes.
One thing every host should always do.
One thing every host should always do is just Well, obviously you need to do your research before you interview somebody so you sound, professional and you understand what you want to do. But I think you should just have fun with your show. I think it's just be your person, be your persona. Do not let anyone tell you what to do, and you run your show the way that you want to. It makes you unique in that way.
What's the biggest red flag in a guest?
Biggest red flag in a guest is when they come on video. They sound like they're not too intrigued of the conversation, or they want to talk to you, or maybe you're doing a video with them or you're doing an interview with them and their video is off and they're just giving you their audio. And you're like, okay, so you don't want to talk to me? Like, I can't see you, but you can see me. That's kind of not fair.
Yeah, that's a weird thing. I've had that happen.
Yep. And it's like
that's
how does this work?
Well,
Should I turn my
totally
video off?
different. Yeah, I just think it's a total different dynamic when you see someone as opposed to just hearing their voice. I don't think you can connect emotionally.
Correct.
The same. It's not
It
possible.
affects you. It actually affects your interview more than you think. Because you're prepared,
definitely.
but then if you see that, you're like, okay, so you don't like me, even though you said you did? And then it actually can give you guilt and make you kind of stress out during the interview. And that's not good either.
Yeah, well, I just feel like it's really hard to open up to someone if I can't see them. But they can see me. Like, that's some weird control shit that I'm like not into. Like,
I got you.
Like, you need to go talk to someone about that because that's odd. What's your favorite part of what you do?
My favorite part of being a radio show host is, besides getting the opportunity to talk to amazing people like yourself, I think it's just also getting a chance to have a one-on-one conversation, even after the show. Like, kind of catch up with the person that you're talking to if you haven't gotten a chance to talk to them, or their life is so busy and like you only get a chance to Zoom once in a blue moon when they're on your show. Well, you get like 5 minutes before that show ends that you could talk to them a little bit off air. So I think it's just having the connection and talking to the person afterwards. And then you understand that you guys are like still friends, life is hard, but we're still here for each other. If you need anything, let me know.
What is one word that describes your journey?
One word that describes my journey: adventurous.
Good word.
Because life is an adventure and I'm loving the ride.
Ooh, love that. If you weren't doing radio, what do you think you'd be doing? What's your dream job?
So when I was younger, the 3 things I wanted to do when I grew up was an opera singer, a waitress. Oh my gosh, what was the other thing? Because I didn't know what a waitress was technically like back then. It looked so cool. I think it was an opera singer, a waitress, or maybe I think it was a veterinarian. Because I was looking into that, but then I also wanted to do cosmetology, and then I found out it's so much math, and I was like, nope, nothing to do with that. You got to know the inches of the people's hairs you're cutting. So it was completely out of that. But I looked a little bit into the modeling industry. Besides me modeling, I have a sewing machine, so I knew how to make hair scrunchies, and I made a pair of denim jeans into a skirt. So I was doing a lot of sewing. So maybe I would be like a seamstress.
Okay.
Or work for somebody on the runway and help them.
Advice in one sentence.
You could do anything you put your mind to it. You got this.
What does legacy mean to you?
Legacy means that it's more than a dream you're living. It means that you can go further than you think. It's more in your positive mindset that you can achieve stronger goals.
What have I not asked you today that you'd like to share?
How people can contact me.
Share.
You guys
It'll
can
be in the show notes too, but yes.
You can contact me. My website is www.thedaniperroshow.com. That's DANIPERRO show.com. And we greatly appreciate the time that Miss Christina had for this interview and taking the time to interview me. She's such a doll.
You're so cute. Dani, this was so fun and inspiring. I love your passion for what you do. And you and I always have just so much fun chatting. I love how you've taken something that you're passionate about and turned it into a platform that truly connects people, from major celebrities to everyday entrepreneurs, and gives everyone a voice. If you enjoyed this episode, make sure to follow Ms. Dani, tune into her show, and support everything she's building. And as always, please don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe to I'm Too Busy. I am Christina Flach, and I look forward to seeing you next week. Thank you so much.
Thank you.